Tyla's album is boring and flopping because, oh, I already said it, she's boring. She's trying to like emulate the early 2000s, but we're not there. We're in 2026. You have to find what works for you. Also, you don't want to be black, and that's who you're marketing to, right? And we understand.
Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Let's talk about Tyla flop album. Yes, Tyla album is flop. You South Africans that's watching me, you know it's Tyla album is flop. 16 million people, you cannot watch your superstar. According to you guys, she is a global star. How can a global star be making 3 million views in a day? Her first day of releasing her album, she's making 3 million. All right, let's talk about the black Americans who are boycotting Tyla. And mind you, black Americans actually supported Tyla career. Now the black Americans are no longer with her. Every time she releases her album, it's flop. It's flop because her targets were Americans. Americans too are not in support of what is happening to Africans. Africans, the way South Africans are treating Africa. And mind you, Tyla never said a word. Now she released an album thinking everyone is going to. I'm not even talking about Uganda's African countries. Nobody will listen to her song. Nobody. If you're an African listening to Tyla's song, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's not like I hate Tyla. We want them to also feel what they are doing to other Africans because they are not even stopping. If you go on social media, South Africans are not stopping. South Africans still continue to drag, do whatever they are doing to immigrants in their country. Please, so you see that energy they are giving to you, just ignore Tyla album. Let that album flop very well. I like it when Americans are the ones saying Tyla album has flopped, Tyla album has flopped, because Tyla's biggest audience were the black Americans, and now the black Americans are not with her. In Africa, Tyla's biggest audience are Nigerians. Nigerians consume Tyla music more than UK, more than even America. But for Nigerians, I will come for you guys another time. You tell me why you guys are consuming Tyla music. You have to tell me in the comment section, because I have been warning all of you on this comment section, on this video or on this channel, to stop listening to that girl's song. You will not listen. No, I was shocked that 800,000+ Nigerians are listening to Tyla's song. Naija, Naija don't tire on a matter. I don't tire on a matter. I swear to God, I don't tire me. Why are you guys listening to her song? You people listen to her song more than even South Africans. Let that album flop, because if that album, if Arya Star album cannot beat Arya Star, you see, you give South Africans more grounds to be insulting Nigerians. See, on the first day's streaming of Arya Star, we are hitting 10 million. 10 million for South Ghana. That's so like talk. For South Girl, we are hitting 10 million. No. 10 million, guys. Anyway, please don't forget to subscribe on my channel. Take a look and watch this video.
I understand. You know, colonization did a number on you in South Africa. Trust, I understand. But honey, when you come to the US of A, you are black. You're not Afrikaans or whatever they call you. Or in majority of the world, you are black. Phenotypically, stereotypically, to the eye, you are black. And so you want to come from a place that has a heavy white supremacist environment and come to United States and sit up here and say that you're not black when we are still going through years of oppression. We're still getting killed. We're still getting stereotyped. We're still fighting these racial issues. But you want us to buy your album? Girl, you better lie. You better say, I'm black AF, if you want them album sales. Because I promise you, Tyla, you're boring. You don't really have any redeemable qualities, besides the fact that you're gorgeous and you could dance. But it just kind of feels like they're building you. This is what people want to see. We want to have the early 2000s. We want to have the brat renaissance again. We want something to be like, bam, in your face. You know, but it has to happen naturally. And Tyla, you're doing all this promotion and stuff, and we don't care. Closer. Come a little closer. Closer, closer, closer. We don't care.
Tyla dropped her sophomore album, and it has flopped in the US. Emphasis on the US. I don't know anywhere else, but here in the United States, it flopped. Her first week numbers, or her first week sales, was 15,000 units. For her debut album, she sold 24,000 in the first week in the United States. So she it's a significant decline. Now, I know people love to bring up Spotify streams and that sort of thing. The streams for the album on Spotify were over 500 million. However, over 350 million of those streams were for the song Chanel. And then another 80 million were for the song It Is, or Is It, or something like that. So 85% of the streams, if not more, were for 2 specific songs. People aren't listening to the whole album. And if they did listen to the whole album, those are the only 2 songs that resonated with them. And one thing about Tyla, whenever you talk about her on the internet, the South Africans come bum rush your comments and make it seem like, who cares, we support her, and they try to drag you, try to bully you. But Tyla cares, because she has made the move to the United States of America, right? She signed to a, label here in the United States. Even though she had a label in South Africa, she decided to have a co-label in the United States. She decided to have a co-management in the United States. So she is trying to break through in, the American music industry. So I know her, fans from back home are going to come in the comments, but she's not resonating. And I feel like it's because of, her personality, her behavior outside of the music. Tyla has had multiple moments in media and interviews or interactions that just made her look corny in our standards in the United States. In South Africa, I know it may be cool over there, maybe cute, y'all don't see a problem, but over here, it gave side eye. There's multiple interactions, even recently as Kai Cenat. Okay, we know the interaction with, Halle. Her interview about being colored and not black or whatever, trying to separate herself. I understand that in South Africa, some of y'all are colored. Y'all have a very classist system of white, black, colored, whatever. One thing that Americans did learn was about Nelson Mandela and the apartheid. Y'all are victims, but y'all are still need to unpack that mentality. But she just hasn't, been able to connect with Americans. And again, I know people from her culture and her country are going to say, she doesn't care, she doesn't need y'all, but she wants us. She doesn't need us, but she wants us. She's sampling our music. She's, featuring American artists. She's signing to American labels. She's moving to America. You gotta assimilate. If you want to resonate with the people, you have to understand their culture and you have to respect it and, showcase it. And the fact that her album has, her sales declined so much from the last one, it's not just because of the music. It's because of her.
Tyla is not selling the United States because people don't like her personality here. A lot of people in the US find Tyla's personality to be off-putting. They basically think she's stuck up. Now, before anybody who's South African jumps down and be like, oh my gosh, here's another American. First off, I've defended Tyla in the past. I'm looking at why Tyla's not doing well, and I'm going to give you some of the reasons. One of the reasons started with that conversation around her race. I understand it means something in South Africa. I completely get that. However, I blame her team. Her team should have prepped her on how to properly answer that question. Number 2, the whole thing with the awards where she didn't want to hold her awards and then she turned around looking like someone was gonna hold it. That does not cross well in the United States. I don't think she did it like hey, I'm bigger than everybody, I'm bigger than the program. But that's how it came across. This newer thing with her and Kai on his stream where she opened the curtain. There's a bunch of little instances where people have made in their minds, especially the American people have made in their minds, Tyla is stuck up. Unfortunately, Tyla is in a sector where her prettiness, though it is a positive and though it has helped her, it is also somewhat of a detriment because you can't look like that and also be perceived as a BI, right? Especially if you're not from the country. And it's unfortunate because Tyla has all the ingredients to be successful. She's beautiful, she's talented, she could sing, she could dance, she does have a nice personality, but that whole stuck up, I'm bigger than the program, that's going to be tough to try to sell to the American media. And I can already hear your comments now. Tyla doesn't need to be big in the US to be big. Didn't say that. But if you want to be a global artist, you have to do well in the American market.
Personally, I feel like creative control has absolutely fucking nothing to do with it. What Tyla's problem is that she has alienated the exact same fan base that her team, her label, and her are trying to market her music to. Black people. When she got on stage and did that shit to Halle, she immediately put a bad taste in black people's mouth and then refuses to define when she's calling herself colored. And then when instead of responding to that, she decides to then do it on the Breakfast Club, like what, 3-4 goddamn years later, she decides to keep taunting, teasing, and poking the bear at the black community. Yeah, you're going to alienate your fucking fan base. So now we, the black community, have completely turned our backs on her. She is now known as an uppity African. She is now known as Rihanna's fucking understudy. She is now known as Rihanna's not so secret stalker. So that's really truly the reason her album came and went and tanked, because the same fan base that she's now trying to come around to, be good friends and buddy, and now, oh, let me explain why I'm colored, are the very same people that have moved the fuck on and are not going to buy her shit. So that's Tyla's fault. That is not a creative control fault. As an artist that she should have came in this industry with an ounce of humility, an ounce of maybe being herself for 1 fucking second, and then she would have gotten the respect, and then her album would have soared up on the charts. But this is the reason she's going to continue to flop. Because 1, she's a cosplayer, and 2, she already told us who she was at the beginning.
Any artist who doesn't make consistent content and only comes out when they have an album to promote is giving narcissistic energy. Tyla is receiving a lot of backlash right now because people are saying that the only reason why she's hanging out with Kai at Disney World is because she has an album to promote. Because before that, she wasn't making any content. She wasn't even hanging out with Kai. She was just rejecting him. But then now she has an album to promote. Now she's hanging out with him. This is a pattern of the music industry. This is what we call a campaign. So when artists have something to promote, they will be outside. They will be engaging with media personalities. They will be open to the public. But whenever they don't have anything to promote, they're like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. They're not here. They're not making any kind of content. In the past, this was acceptable because they were on their campaign. But because of new technology like live streaming and short form video, now these artists are competing against content creators who make consistent content. Now they look like very narcissistic. Take these graphs, for example. When you have a campaign in the music industry, you are gone for a long time making the album, and then eventually you have a peak where you have an album to promote, so you're outside, and then you go mute, and then you go quiet and you don't say anything, and then it goes back up, the next album, the next album. When you're building a platform like a content creator, like a live streamer, you are consistently making content. You have a production schedule. You are consistently making content. And this is the problem with the music industry. You cannot compete against content creators because the music industry is built on these peaks and valleys where content creation, especially with content creators today, they're building platforms and consistent relationships with people. So when you are dealing with a narcissistic person, you are dealing with peaks and valleys. They'll love bomb you. Please come over. Let's hang out. And then they'll just ghost you. And then they'll tell you like, oh, I'm back, and then they'll ghost you. So it's the same thing with artists. Artists are creating this kind of relationship. This is why Tyla is being called out. And artists need to get out of this thinking of campaign building. Let me drop an album and then I'll make content. No, make content consistently, because if not, you're just going to be called out for taking advantage of those content creators who have real platforms. So build platforms, not campaigns, and you are going to build a great community around you that doesn't make it feel like you're taking from them like a narcissist would. What do you think?
What's not clicking with Tyla is songs 7, 4, and 8 on that new album are exactly the same. The same tempo, the same key. She sings in the same key. She has the same cadence at which she's... Listen, I'm not going to sit up here and play games with you. As a person who shares her birthday, she is capable of more than what she's putting out. Okay? They don't want to invest in Tyla anymore. There isn't any money, hence AI, 6 fingers, like you guys are picking up on the photos, the promo photos, because there's no money. So this is what you get when there's no money. You get the songs that you didn't really want to put on the album, and they just put them out there because they already recorded them and paid for studio time. Okay? So you can go back and listen. I'm eating chicken. Okay? The problem from the gates was calling yourself a pretty colored girl from Joburg. Once again, I'll reiterate for you, a pretty colored girl. Who is that touching in America? Not none of us. Okay? So, as an Aquarius born, she can handle it. Tell her what you actually think of the album. I don't think of it. I won't remember any of it. And all of the songs sound the same. I'm just confused as to what we're supposed to be actually promoting here. What is the success that she's hoping to reach in America from people that you've already offended? Your people love you over there. Just stay there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't shoot for your dreams. I'm just saying stop hoping that the people of America are going to support you when you put out tracks like this. This album was mediocre at best. If it were me, I would ask for 2 features from 2 not well-known artists from her country. Give them a shot, because that might throw you onto the scene with something new into the album. I'm just confused as what we're doing. Drop the outfits too. We've had enough of the diapers and the tops that are too small. That we get it. You're petite in size. Find a stylist that can work with you. Learn how to do your hair as well, because they don't want to pay for that anymore. The budget is small. What are we not getting? She has to make do with what she got, and she created the situation she in. It's not anybody else's obligation to help you. If you want to shine because you want to be a star, then you have to put forth more effort than what she's putting forth.
What's not clicking with Tyla? Because for somebody who's one of the most streamed artists in the world right now,
I'll tell you what's not clicking with Tyla. The reality is that Tyla's having a disconnect between herself and her consumer. She's selling a product. That product is her music. Whether you want to view it that way or not, I'm telling you right now, that's the way the people up at her label are viewing her, as a product. She's pushing her product to a key target demographic that does not like her. I've tried to say it the nice way. I've tried to be cute and demure about it, but I've received so much anti-Black hate in my comments from South Africans. And shout out to my South Africans, because no matter how you feel about me, I love you. And it's not about me and you. It's not about you versus Black Americans. It's bigger than that. This is a business conversation. And if you don't have the media literacy to follow along, just keep scrolling. Point blank, period. The white creator, he made a comment about it, and y'all are not dragging him in the comments, but when a Black woman does it, it's really sad. But let's get back to Tyla. At the end of the day, every global artist, this term that y'all love to throw around, that she's bigger than America and she doesn't need America, every global artist, from K-pop to Latin American artists, when they are attempting to transcend into that superstar status, they are brought over to American soil and marketed to Americans. One of the key demographics that R&B and hip hop acts that come from outside of America are pushed towards is Black American women. Go ask the label. Don't ask me. Go ask the label. They will show you the numbers. I would love for a label to get in my comments and show me the numbers so that I can have some statistics to back me up, because I know I'm right, but it seems that South Africans don't want to do the research. You need Black American women to support your music if you're in that genre. That's just what it is. Go ask Drake. Go ask some of the top selling artists of all time. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Unless you're doing country, which I don't believe Tyla's going to be doing country music anytime soon. All my pop girlies, all my rappers, all my hip hop, all those genres, you need Black American women to support you. It's not about us being main characters like you love to throw around with this anti-Black, you guys think you're the main characters. It's about business. We might not be the main characters of the world, which you will never hesitate to remind us of, but we are the main characters of the music business. It's not just a Tyla thing. So this narcissistic perspective that y'all have, that like she doesn't need this demographic. If she didn't need the demographic, they wouldn't have tried to put her on Black American media outlets for the second rollout. And my question to y'all is, can you please let me know a piece of South African press that she's done to roll A-pop out? Because I haven't seen any yet. And my last video was almost a week ago. Let me give it to you in a metaphor that might be a little bit easier to digest. If I shop at your grocery store and your grocery store keeps having recalls, I'm not going to come to your grocery store anymore, because there's a lack and breakdown of trust between me as your consumer and you as the supplier. Tyla has broken down trust at this point between herself and that key target demographic, which is Black American women. I've gotten into the weeds and the thick of why I believe that is. I think that they made a mistake, a critical mistake, when they first introduced her to American markets by positioning her through racial preference as the exotic baddie to a group of women who are sensitive to that. I think that was the fatal mistake, in my opinion. There were some other things. The Breakfast Club interview did not help. That kind of was the cherry on top, but the underlying resentment had already existed. When you are trying to break an artist, you have to account for those cultural nuances. And maybe this speaks to the failure of the labels. And shout out to
when Americans are dragging Tyla, I like it. I like Tyla not because I hate Tyla or jealous of her. Why would I be jealous of her? I like it because of South Africans. I like it. I like it when they are dragging Tyla like that, because even the Black American says they're not gonna listen. I don't know how many how do they call it, units? That album, how many units has that album sold so far in the US? How many? Because the last time I checked, it was like 2,500 units her album sold on the first day of release. I don't know if it is after 3 days or whatever, but her album sold 2,500 how do they call it, 2,500 units. Yeah, 2,500 units. I don't know right now because I've not been checking about Tyla. When I go on Twitter, there's only one people I go on Twitter to check. I go on Twitter to check Nigeria Entertainment. That's all. That's what I'm interested in. I check Nigeria Entertainment. For those of you who don't know, go and listen to Davido's new album, Orade. Go and listen to Davido's album, okay? We are promoting Afrobeats. For those of you who keep saying Afrobeat is dead, you will tell me if now you kill them. You guys are going to tell me if you're the one that killed Afrobeat. Afrobeat is going global. And for those South Africans who are always taking credit, they are always taking credit from where they don't deserve. Go and make your Amapiano to become popular. Stop saying it is Tyla that actually took Afrobeat to the world. Tyla, who has never said she's an Afrobeat artist. Tyla will always claim A-pop artist. You're saying she took Afrobeat. What Tyla is singing, is it Afrobeat? Huh? That thing that she say, I like your heart, man, got me go, man. Is that Afrobeat? I want to know. Does that song sound Afrobeat to you? I don't even know why they always put her under African or under Afrobeat category. Every time Grammy wants to nominate that lady, she always put her under Afrobeat. That I don't know. This style herself, it makes this South African to feel like this lady is singing good song. Let's go and listen to what's this Arya Star song? Colorado, Namina Colorado. Remember to my man to no, not that one. What's that her newly released song? Why like tornado? Why like tornado? Arya Star's my baby now, guys. I love Arya Star. I love her music. Go and listen to her song. Go and listen to her song. Nigerian. So I'm talking to you guys because I don't want Arya Star song to hit just 2 million or 1 million first day streaming. We want that album to get to 10 million. Go and listen. Okay. 13th of August is coming. We want to see all Nigerians on that day promoting our album. You see those Nigerians on Twitter, some of them on that Twitter, I don't like them. Do you know why I don't like them? Because I cannot imagine Nigerians dragging Arya Star. I don't even understand. For some Nigerians to even say Arya Star is copying from Tyla, which Tyla are we talking about? That same Tyla that Arya Star on the social media, Nigerians were dragging Arya Star for always putting on miniskirt. You people have just dragged this Arya Star on the Arya Star that is not dressing decent. Arya Star, that lady we knew, so is it 2 years or 3 years ago before Tyla blew up? Arya Star has always been miniskirt. Some of you were on the social media. Even if people want to drag Arya Star, it shouldn't be some Nigerians. It's just those Nigerians on Twitter. I don't understand those ones. So I don't understand. Are you guys just doing it for engagement or what? Huh? I will see some Nigerians, bloggers, influencers on Twitter. They'll be dragging Arya Star. And I'll be looking like this. I say, hey God, oh. Some people will even be laughing at Arya Star because she made a video saying when she came to US during winter and it was so cold. They asked her when was that. She says August. Then later on she says September. I don't know. I've never been to US, so I don't know when it's winter, when it's summer. That's her. So you know Nigeria is hot. So when she goes to another place, she says it's cold. It's cold. If you don't want to believe her, it's okay. Why are you guys dragging her? What's your problem? Huh? I see some Nigerians on Twitter dragging her. Why are you dragging her? I know some of you are praying for her album to flop, but it will not flop. It will not flop in Jesus' name. Amen. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.